I love running. It's so great for clearing the head. I used to run for fun, but since running for premature babies, I feel that running gives me so much more. And the $2.5 million that's been raised, now we have so many people who've directly benefited from these funds.
Hello, darling. Oh, holding onto your mummy's hand, very tight.
Is that how big he actually was?
No, darling, because it's just a video, isn't it? What I like to remember is how beautiful and how precious each of our little boys was. Such a sweet little boy. I'm so grateful that we had 58 days with Jasper when I only had 1 hour with Henry and 10 days with Evan. Soon after Jasper died, when I was still on maternity leave, my husband Ash suggested to me that we train for the upcoming Sydney Morning Herald half marathon and try and raise some money for the hospital.
Intensive care is one of the most expensive parts of healthcare. We're talking about caring for babies who might be as small as 500 grams. The average cost of caring for a baby would be $3,500 per day, and for the sickest babies that could be as high as $10,000 per day. Sophie, when your little babies were with us in the nursery, this equipment was not available, this technology was not developed.
So this is the one that if Jasper had been around now, this could have helped Jasper.
This would have helped Jasper. Sophie is a very strong, very resilient woman. She has inspired all of us through her loss and her grief. She has turned that around. She has created fundraising which is saving the lives of other people's children.
I'm Scott Crank. This is my wife Lola and our triplet boys Arzak, Caspian and Winston.
After 28 weeks and 6 days, they came into this world at the Royal Hospital for Women. What do you have there?
It's full on, it's energy packed, it's certainly never a dull moment. Sophie Smith, the impact she's had on our life is enormous. We genuinely believe not all three of them would have made it out if it wasn't for Sophie's Charity.
We raised $80,000 in that first year. So much has come from that first spark of an idea. When our son Owen, who was our fourth son, was 6 months old, Ash was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of brain cancer. He was able to face his illness with the most incredible positivity, and we then went on to have another son, Harvey. Ash's cancer did return 5 years later, and he continued to run on our team between surgeries and chemo, but in February last year, sadly he died. People often say, you know, it's not fair or you're very unlucky. I don't actually feel like I'm very unlucky. I feel like I'm extremely lucky to have had such a wonderful relationship with my husband. We have experienced a lot of heartbreak, but equally we've experienced enormous joy.
Okay, so Harvey, are you going to drink it this time?
Owen and Harvey know their dad and have wonderful memories of him. He was an amazing father. We go up to Waverley Cemetery and they have a little box that they've put inside Ash's grave, and they write letters to him. They find little knickknacks and they take them up and they pop them in the box.
It's got a beer bottle opener on it because he loved beer.
After Ash died, there was no part of me that wanted to not go ahead with running for premature babies 2016. We had 520 people on the team and I ran my fastest ever race. Ash taught me it was never okay to give up. Running for premature babies may have helped to save lots of tiny premature babies, but actually it has also helped to save me.
Do you think the goodie bags look a bit sparse?
I work from home, I spend a lot of time at my computer. Another aspect which I had never considered was the people who would join my team and the community that we would become.
And we have lots of children here today who were also born prematurely. So it's welcome to everybody.
We're here today to support Sophie because she supported Nathaniel through a very hard time, Every year, both of my boys have participated in this event. It's great for Finn to get out and test his limitations.
You see so many of the same faces at all the events. Harry was so excited to run for Premier Babies today, weren't you?
His turn. And it's so nice to see all the kids growing up.
Giving of yourself as a volunteer, you get a lot back as well. And I think everybody knows that. I hope that this charity can grow to support newborn intensive care units around the country, and that more premature babies' lives can be saved. More families get to take their babies home, and that we can celebrate all prematurely born children, both living and lost.